Hi, Carners. Welcome. I was just going to find some copyright-free music. Let's go. I cannot believe how fast this day went. Before I knew it, it was 9:30, and I'm just boiling water now. There are raccoons running around. Zoomy's still outside. I've got to get him in the house, but he won't go in. There's a fox running around. Pretty soon there'll be possums. And then the cats. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, thank you. There was an interesting video that I received this week. I'm so busy, it's ridiculous. And now I've got these kittens, and then the 2 chicken coops. I should not have to clean these coops every day, but these criminals throw some kind of this disgusting dust in there that covers everything. And I know that they're doing it because I'll be in bed, and suddenly I'll hear my roosters crowing at like 4 o'clock in the morning, which is bizarre. And people are going in and out of these coops, throwing dust in there, harassing them. And then tonight, I had to take care of one of my rooster's foot. This has been going on for like a month. It's called bumblefoot. It's sort of like a planter's wart on a rooster. So I had to give him, I had to give him an Epsom salt foot bath with baking soda and borax, and soften up this what appears to be like a really hard callus. But that's just the covering. And then after I get the callus off of it, it's like this root that goes down into his foot, and it left like, I'm telling you, it's like a quarter of an inch of a hole in his foot that I had to stuff with aseptic and peroxide and wrap his foot. Oh, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the things that you have to do for your pets, your roosters, your farm animals. But I watched a video today, like one of those funny short videos where it's a compilation of farm animals that do stupid stuff. And every one of them was either a goat or a cow that got their head stuck in a gate or in a fence or something like that. And I'm thinking, like, how would you even undo that? But how are you guys doing? Please remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. That's my alarm that it means that it's 10 o'clock. I've changed all of my alarms. Instead of it being a song that gets me like a little copyright thing that I've got to delete the song, I've just got these bells. So hopefully, let me see, I'm going to undo this one for now. Hi, Jerry, welcome. Rufus the Bull? No, I haven't seen that one. There are just so many out there. There's so many farm videos and homesteaders and preppers and stuff that have like a lot of farm animals, like a lot of goats, sheep, horses, cows, and some of them just do the funniest stuff. And the donkeys. Oh, and the ones with the llamas. Those llamas or the ostriches, those are crazy birds. Emus, that's what it is. It's an emu. There are a couple of channels with emus, and they're nasty. But yeah, I like to entertain myself in the middle of the day. I'll watch animal videos, either rescue videos. Yes, the emus. They're interesting looking birds, but there's this one channel, and I don't remember her name, but she's got 2 or 3 emus, and one of them is bad, like, just really bad, like, chases her. Yes, look, yes. Yeah. And, yeah, so they have a large beak. If I ever got an animal like that, I would want to raise it from a chick. I would never get one as an adult. I don't know anything about the birds. It's sort of like I didn't know anything about chickens or roosters when I got them. And I realized after having chickens and roosters, a lot of our like colloquialisms are around chickens. Like henpecked, flew the coop, getting laid, all those things. There's so many of them. But how you all doing? How's your targeting been? Everybody's complaining. I'm gonna go find that video and I'll play it a little bit later when more people are in the chat. So now I just received an email. Hi KG, welcome. Oh my goodness. Remember to take photos. And also, do you have a like a digital thermometer? What is it called? What is it called? It's like a heat thermometer where you can point it at your body and it tells you what your body temperature is. I mean, I would get one of those so you can keep track of that. Hi Nick, welcome. I just received your other email. I haven't read it yet, but I received an email from, let me just get it here. Anna, her name is Anna Mink. She says you could use my name. And she found this link to a petition about chemtrails and a phone number to report them. So I'm going to leave that in the chat there. Hi, Ben. Welcome. Welcome, Ben. Please remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. And let me just go find that video. I'll wait until a couple of more people come in. And then I wanted to play this video that was really interesting. Let me just find it 1 second. Yeah, there were a couple of things that I wanted to mention. There was a fundraiser for Andrew Boswell's memorial. And now the comment section on his memorial is now blocked. And 1 second. Because I received a response. Okay, so our subscriber, I won't mention her name, wrote to Andrew's daughters on the obituary. It's now blocked, so you can't read what other people have written. And she responds to her. Now, I don't believe this for a minute. The daughter responds, "Hi, my dad was dealing with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. He has 2 manic episodes and unalived himself, unfortunately. It has been a very hard time for us, but we're taking it day by day. I hope you can let everyone know who supports my dad." Now, I know for a fact that our subscriber who has written to me about this, his name is Kenneth Dutton. He left a response on Michael Miller's tribute to his daughter, that his daughters were involved in his stalking. Kenneth had contact with Andrew because his mom lived in Minnesota and said that Andrew invited him to stay there when he was in town. He also told Kenneth that his honey trap ex-wife had his daughters participating in the stalking and gaslighting of their father. So I don't believe for 1 minute that Andrew Boswell, at age 51, unalived himself because he had bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. I'm sorry, I'm not buying this, not for a nanosecond. I mean, you don't become schizophrenic as a 51-year-old man who works at a gym, who's in the shape that he's in and stuff. They were probably harassing him, tormenting him. Yeah, I don't buy it at all. Hi, Joe. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Oh, hi, Water. Water Otter. That's a cute name, Water Otter. Look out for Charlie's got great information on his channel. Hi, Elijah. Oh, yeah, these people are depraved. They're lunatics. They're very sick. These are very sick people. If I told you what... Hi. Hi, Chrysalis. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that. Hi, River Bluff. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, these people are off the charts, but they hire them for these characteristics. Joe, I had that last week, the reconnecting issue. I'm not sure if they're doing this to us. I had that last week. I had to end the live and then start it up again. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up. Hi, Fred. Welcome. Cheryl, welcome. I have so many emails. I'm trying to find the one. Let me see. Oh, now I'm not finding it. Let me see. Let me see. Of course, now I can't find it. I'll find it. Oh, here it is. I found it.
Ultra Fire cervical care pillow. Even orthopedic doctors are using it.
Hi, Hoosier. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I stopped speaking for a little bit because I was looking through my mail. Can you hear me now? So I found the video, and I'll play it in a bit. It's by a man, YouTube creator, Rich2150X. 2 biggest reasons you're being targeted by the cabal. It's 20 plus minutes, 21 minutes long. I won't play all of it, but I'll play the first few minutes of it in Just a couple of minutes? Okay, good. Yeah, I wasn't speaking before. When you said I was cutting out, I was playing some music in the background and scrolling through my emails because I have so much email. It's just ridiculous. I know. I hear you, Cheryl. I hear you. I don't. I think I might have seen that one, The Game. And then there's a film written by a targeted person called The Spark. That actor, his name is escaping me at the minute. So I'm going to play this for a bit. Two biggest reasons you're being targeted by the cabal. Now, can you hear that? Steven Schellenberger, yes. Thank you. My mind gets fried at the end of the day. Now, were you able to hear that video that I just started to play? Two biggest reasons you're being targeted by the cabal. You're too smart, you know too much, you're too awake. So you might be one of these people or all of these people. And I would say that everybody that is in the chat right now is too smart, too awake. And that's why we're targeted. So let me continue with what he's saying here. So evidently, when you know too much, like you've come here in this lifetime and you know things already, and then you start studying, and then you start learning, you start questioning, and you're curious, and you learn more and more. That evidently is a threat to the cabal on Earth and off because they like to work in the shadows. Divergent. Really? How old is that film, Elijah? I'll have to look it up. Let me write it down. I don't have a TV and I live in the middle of nowhere, so I don't have any option of actually going to a movie theater. There's no option for me here. Yeah, I've watched things about 911. Yeah. Michael Douglas spent 20 years going down the rabbit holes. Yes, yes. I'm a curious person. I've started a lot of my own businesses. So, when you're starting businesses, you start looking into things and one thing leads to another and to another. And obviously, when I started studying numerology, I was like 10 years old. Um, and then, in my teens, I started learning about astrology. And then in my 20s and 30s, obviously, and up, I got very involved in astrology, reading tarot cards, just learning about a lot of different metaphysical topics, meditation, kundalini, the chakras. So let's see what else he has to say here. I don't know if you heard that. He says, you're targeted because you know too much and you might open your big effing mouth. And whatever it is that will come out of our mouth, we want it to sound crazy, all right? That's what he says. We want it to sound crazy. Well, see, what he's saying is that as targeted people, we start finding out information about what's happening to us, and then we're going to start talking about it, and we sound nuts. But basically, we're all targeted at different times in our life. Yeah, I want to see that film Divergent also. It's it's about Chicago. Oh, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I saw that as a kiddo. My mother loved that film, The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the original one. The original one. Okay, but basically what he's saying is that there are a lot of people. Hi, Mac. Welcome. Hi, Gabriel. Welcome, welcome. Basically, what he's saying is that if, and some of us are, hi, Vicky. Welcome. If you're clairaudient, clairvoyant, have precognitive dreams, if you're psychic, if you're intuitive, if you're an empath, these are all reasons why the cabal would target an individual. Bromhausen, hi, welcome, welcome. You wonder how many how many stalkers are in the chat. Okay, well, let's say, please remember to hit the thumbs up. Generally, the stalkers will not hit the thumbs up. So please, if you're not a stalker, hit the thumbs up because it says that there are 22 watching. There are 22 watching or listening and only 13 thumbs up. So, well, hit the thumbs up. Hi, Mac. Hit the thumbs up if you're not a stalker. Because you know those cyber stalkers, they're going to downvote it. They always hit the downvote key, like when I upload the video. So if you're not a cyber stalker, hit the thumbs up. And so a lot of people have psychic abilities, precognitive, clairaudient, you could hear things, clear sentient, you can feel things. And this is a threat to the cabal because you can sense things beyond reality, the normal, what's going on every day that other people can't perceive. And that's a threat to these criminals because they're not able to get away with all of the nasty things that they're doing because you can sense, you can feel, you can intuit what they're doing. Like, the idiots that live around here. I mean, it was so obvious. Even like when I got here, I had even mentioned to my mother on the phone that this one person, I'm not even going to mention her name, but I didn't like her. Like as soon as I met her, I didn't like her. My mother's like, oh well, I'll be nice. Well, I am nice to everybody. Doesn't mean I have to like them. you know, Government Accountability Office. So remember to hit the thumbs up if you're not a cyber stalker. Hit the thumbs up. Now there are 24 people and 20 thumbs up. So yeah, so why are we chosen? Why are we targeted? Well, there are a lot of reasons. Some of those reasons are, obviously they like to target the empaths because they're psychopaths, they're narcissists, they have psychological problems. And narcissists don't feel, they don't care. For the most part, throughout history, the narcissists always hook up with the empaths. And I think Zumi might be at the door. So I hear Zumi. Um, uh, well, the moderator that I usually have is not here right now. Does anybody else want to be a moderator right now? Elijah, you want to be a moderator? You'll be a mod? Somebody who's been here before. Somebody who's been in the chat. Hi, Wildlight Arts. The eldest son of the editor was more famous medical journal in the Northeast of USA. Well, right now, Joe, do you want to be a moderator? We'll make you a moderator right now. Let's see. I'm just going to add you as a moderator. Okay, so that should show up fairly soon. Hi, Mac. Welcome. Vicky of Psychic Premonitions. I'm going to have to walk away from the chat for about 5 minutes because Zoomies at the door. I've got to get him in the cat's building. I'll be right back. Zoomy, is that you? Zoomy. Zoomy. Zoomy, where'd you go? Zoomy. Zoomy, where'd you go? So Zoomy was knocking on the door, and then when I get up and go to the door, he's gone. Question. There's a question. Gabriel's asking, is there anyone in the chat that lives in Los Angeles? Toronto. Can you make me mod? Okay. Okay, Elijah, you're now a standard moderator, which means that if people are acting up, you can put them in timeout. Hi, Subversive, welcome. Okay, Cheryl's in Texas. I'm in Kentucky. River Bluff is back in Florida for now. Welcome, everybody. So the people that are coming in right now, a lot of people are targeted because they just know things that other people don't know. That you're intuitive, you're psychic. Water Otter is Oklahoma, Illinois. I'm not on Discord. I had downloaded. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Oh, that's so interesting. Yes. My mother was very psychic. And I always got feelings about people that I would meet that I didn't know. I would know things about them immediately. even guys that I dated, which was pretty bad. It's not conducive to forming relationships when you know things about somebody else that they don't want you to know. Yes, this channel is about targeting. It's about learning, research. It's about, oh goodness, so many things. I read books about technology. Joe's in New Mexico. Um, so far, everybody in the chat is from a different state. Question posed: has anyone had tracking chips removed? Right, con artist is in New Zealand. I have not. I think some of them, if they're close to the surface and you get them immediately, you can get them out of your body, but then they come back and put them in again. Fred says Singapore. What's the targeting like in Singapore? A subscriber, I don't know, I guess it was last year sometime, emailed me and said that they moved out of the country and the targeting or the gang stalkers, it's so minimal. He still gets the electronic harassment and stuff like that, but felt that it was mostly because of the language barrier, that he wasn't getting the street theater or any of that after moving out of the country. Yeah, the smart dust. I mean, they insert it in your food. It's in the air. It's in those trails. Yes, I think they pretty much chipped anybody who got that nasal swab. It was people volunteered for that. You're right, Joe. Nanotech is their secret weapon. Absolutely. A lot of times people are targeted, yes, because you know too much. You ask too many questions. You're curious. You perform research. You take deep dives into things. It's threatening to the cabal. It's threatening to the powers that be. Because the sheeple people, the ones that harass us, they don't do that. They don't care. They want to go along to get along. They want their little gift card. They don't care. But there are a lot of reasons why people are targeted. I know 6 people who are subscribers, all women, 6 women who were either married to a police officer or a military guy, and after they divorced them, got placed on the list and then became targeted. 6 women. There have been cops that got targeted after reporting reporting things within their precinct. And that actually happened in Manalapan, New Jersey, where I lived for 30 years. The Manalapan Police Department targeted their own police officer. Their own police officer got targeted after filing an internal affairs complaint, and then he became targeted. The only fortunate thing that came out of that is a public lawsuit. Hi, Lisa. Hi. and finding out a lot of information about how they placed people on a list and how he actually got stalked by the chief of police, how he got gang stalked, and a lot of the tactics that they utilize on all of us, they utilized on him. So if you go through a divorce, people get targeted because they're divorced, they get placed on a list. Opportunity. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that film. Don't take. Erin says, how many have their air show? They can track your brain waves as we emit energy. Don't date cops. Inherent gang stalkers. We have a TIX cop in San Clemente. The movie Divergent basically explains what we're going through. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Lisa. Yeah, if you file complaints, if you have filed a petition, if you wrote to a state official, sometimes you'll be placed on the list. Elisa's in Washington State. But many of the people that placed us on the list are narcissists. And I purchased a book by HG Tudor, who is a narcissist. The book is entitled Sitting Target: How and Why the Narcissist Chooses You. If you have a copy of the movie, do you have a link that you can place in the chat? You know the truth about World War II and some stuff. Well, that's interesting because I found out actually while my mother is passing away a couple of years ago. I find out that my biological brother is targeted and gets V2K. I never knew that. I always thought he just smoked too much pot. um, and he used to tell my mother and I that he was getting zapped at night. And I didn't know what he meant. I was not targeted at the time. I did not know what it meant. So my brother is targeted. My half brother is targeted. My father was targeted. His second wife was targeted. So my father worked for IBM in the International Research Department. He drew the prototype designs for the research scientists from all over the world. And when he drew them by hand, because there was no CAD back in those days, he actually drew them by hand. He would improve upon them. And when he improved upon them, the research scientists really liked that. So they started to pick his brain, and actually they stole a lot of his ideas, I found out. They stole a lot of his ideas. Well, you're saying 23 watching and 8 thumbs up. You don't hear voices? I see that there are 22 thumbs up. Elijah, Joe is saying, did you watch The Madness? I've never heard of that film, The Madness. And then there's another film recommendation here, The Box. Maybe we can compile a list of all these films. I'm going to write them down right now. 1 second. The Box, The Madness. Exactly, Cheryl. I mean, it's very interesting. Cheryl says if your brother is targeted, Lorraine, it's in your family, and you were in from birth and just didn't go overt until later. That's what I think. Although I did have some very unusual things happen to me, um, very like poignant events, but it was never anything consistent. It would be like something like this year, and then 5 or 6 or 10 years later, something else. Yes, the movie The Spark. Oh, there it is. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you for that link. I'm going to copy this link, copy link address. Surviving the Game with Ice T. Ice, Ice T, yes. Ice T. A lot of rappers have such unusual movie The Game. The Game. There's a film, I don't know the name of it, but it is when these elite people hire people. Oh, well, thank you so much. They hire people to come to their parties, and then they hunt them. It might be called The Hunt or something like that. It's actually they're hunting. It's sort of like the canned hunt that they have for live exotic animals on somebody's private acreage, but instead they're hunting people. Let's see. Gabriel says, according to Dr. Corrado Malanga, only 20% of humans have a soul. And according to the movie The Spark, targeted people are targeted because they have a soul. Oh, well, thank you so much, Gabriel. Thank you for that information. Well, have a good night. Well, it's all a game. They think it's a game because when these deletes get together, all these people that have too much money that they can buy anything that they want, and they're psychotic and neurotic and inbred and perverted. Good night, Gabriel. Yeah, they hunt for sport. Yes. Well, it's also very perverse, very perverse. It's sadistic, and I have a video on the sadistic personality. Let me see. Let me find it right here. Let me just get. Oh, and somebody left me a comment that she thought. Oh, and I wanted to say thank you everybody because I just 3,000 subscribers. So I've got 3,004 subscribers, and just last week it was like 2,900. So thank you everybody for participating and sharing the videos and stuff. It really helps. So we had 124 subscribers in the last 28 days. Thank you, everybody. Let me find that. So let me just post this link for you guys. The psychology of the sadistic personality. It's taken such a long time, Cheryl. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube creators, and there are several YouTube creators that have been around less time than me, that only have 90 or 100 videos, and they've got thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands subscribers. They've already got their YouTube plaque and everything. Yeah, you know, it's just been really challenging. I put so much content out there, and it must be. Oh well, wait a minute. I think Zumi's back at the door. 1 second. Zumi, is that you? Is that you? Are you back? You're back. You go home. Come back here. Come on, come here. Come here. Hey, don't run away. Come here. You go home. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. This is another reason why I want to move, because I don't like having my cats in another building. Play some background music. Oh, you hear the creepy voice? Hi, Nike Slim. Welcome, welcome. Erin, welcome. The Battle, welcome. Do you hear the creepy voice? Is that it? It is? I reported the creepy voice to YouTube. YouTube asked me to complete a survey. And in the survey, I mentioned the creepy voice. And I'm going to get it analyzed. I contacted somebody and gave them the recording. I'll pull up some music, some copyright-free music that always has too many advertisements. Oh, is that it? Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should play music in the background. Sometimes music helps. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak. Oh, it's the music is minimizing the voice. That's good. So now this book, Sitting Target: How and Why the Narcissist Chooses You. The type of target is the methodology of their selection of our target is governed initially by two considerations: what we are, meaning them, and the role they wish to fill. These two considerations will then cause us to target certain people on the basis that they will be the optimum person for our needs. In terms of what we are, of course, we are narcissists, and you will be familiar with our various traits by which we are defined as being that type of personality. Not all of those traits are present with every narcissist, and while it's worthwhile that you are being aware of those traits, it's far more important for you to recognize the type of narcissist that you may have been involved with, and perhaps even more importantly, the type or possibly types that may target you in the future. Some of our victims satisfy us, whatever type of narcissist we are, and whereas others are more suited to a particular type, thus, certain of our kind will not bother targeting that victim. So, this book is speaking. So, let's say if we were to interview the people that placed us in the program, the narcissists that did this to us, this is the person that wrote the book. He is a narcissist explaining how and why they target certain people. Narcissists are drawn from two schools of what I refer to as forcators. The schools of those are being the lesser variety, the mid range variety, or a greater variety. He says they are the victim, somatic, cerebral, and the elite narcissists. Narcissists belong to a school and a cater, although there is not a category of narcissists for every combination of school and cater, as some are mutually exclusive. It's necessary for you to understand not only the schools and caters, but also the relevant combinations. So he talks about the different types of narcissists, and that there are some narcissists that are considered to be victim narcissists. Yes, it's trauma-based mind control and satanic ritual abuse.
See this property on Craigslist for $4,300.
So this is why I can't. The music always has some advertisements. So here's a video um, from a while ago. Let me just leave this in the chat here for you guys. Hi, One Dream. Welcome, welcome. Rumor has it we've got the creepy voices back in town. Yeah, I believe that also. They're energy vampires. They're addicted to chaos. And I created this video like a real, I guess back in 2022. I'm just looking through my videos to see if I've got some information. Yeah, what they like to do also is use dates that are personal to you, birthdays, holidays, the birthdays of your parents, your children, important dates that were significant to you, that were positive for you. They love to do things around your birthday. I mean, for me, what they did last year on May 1st is they literally cut a triangle into my arm. Oh yeah, that's Dr. Eric Karlstrom. Yes. I think I've seen these handbooks before, Joe. I think I've seen these. Yeah, this first one I've seen this one before. It's dated 2015. The internet reading version of the booklet. Oh, the Pope died on your birthday? That was your birthday? Your birthday's on Easter? Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Cheryl. And then the second book, Targeted Individual Handbook Master Copy. Thank you. Thank you for those links, Joe. That's so funny. The good news about the Pope. That's hilarious. Well, I was actually kind of thinking the same thing. I know that's so mean. That's so funny. So in this book by HG Tudor, he is a narcissist. He is a self-proclaimed malignant narcissist. And he says that the person who becomes our primary source is the most important selection of all those that we interact with. You are our chief provider of fuel. Fuel. And you must give us a whole host of other benefits. We must ensure that we make an excellent choice when we choose the person who is to fulfill the role of primary source. Excuse me. So yes, loosh, it's like the fuel. They want fuel, our energy. They're energy vampires. Yes, judges are being arrested. It's about time. And you know, a lot of these police auditor channels, because they have so many subscribers and their videos are going viral, they're getting officers fired all over the country. I mean, you know what, Joe? I mean, do you really want to know everything about them? I really don't care. It means no, I don't want to know them. Anybody like that who has to stalk another person, surveil them, watch what they eat, go through their garbage, is that somebody you want anything to do with? Yes, they're cluster bees, soulless. Yes. I know. I could care less. They have not. There's no. I have no interest in them. Zero. Oh, Joe is asking your age. James Freeman. Oh, yeah, he's funny. I watched The Civil Rights Lawyer. Here's the Deal. Um, Delete Laws. Lackluster. Then there's the Long Island Auditor. There's so many of them. Yeah, the Long Island Audit. Yes, 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 yes. There are a couple of others. I'm just not remembering their names right now. Yes, yes. OTVO. Yes, yes. Yes. They do. Sometimes they go to jail, they get out, and they start right back up. And you know what? They're filing lawsuits and they're winning. They're winning lawsuits. The key is to see the Lucian game. Once you see it, they have to release you because you're powerful. You carry karma. Yeah, sometimes the police auditors get arrested just for revenge, to teach them a lesson. Yeah, teach them a lesson. Oh my, good for you. Is the creepy voice still there? Oh, it's still there. I think somebody just gets into the live, and it's some kind of a mechanical recording that's probably repeated over and over again. Oh, wow. Oh, so people are, oh, you post mailing labels at gas pumps. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, but they're scratched through or marked off. It could be that gas stations are not the best place. Um, they don't usually want that unless they have a pegboard. A lot of times near the bathrooms, they'll have boards that you can post things. Oh, wow. Well, for all of you people that showed up a little bit, I guess maybe after half an hour, Andrew Boswell, the man who is no longer with us at age 51, who's a targeted person who created all those videos that I posted last week. It turns out that one of our subscribers left a comment on his obituary, and one of the daughters responded to her. And the daughter that responded to her said, "My father had a bipolar episode. He was schizophrenic, and he took his own life." I don't believe that for a minute. Not a minute. No, not at all. And looking at those videos, even if even if he took down his website and his YouTube channel, he probably did it because he was being attacked or threatened so badly. Yeah, he was a tough, exactly. He was a tough guy. He was big. He's a big guy. He worked out at the gym. Exactly, Bible. Exactly. That's what they label us. You don't turn into a schizophrenic at age 51. And besides the fact, and I created a video on this. I'll find it and post it. Now, back in my day, when I studied psychology as uh um I don't think he was a subscriber. I don't remember. I don't remember if he was a subscriber. He might have been. I'd have to check. I was friends with him on Facebook, and then he just disappeared. Yeah, yeah, that happens too. Yes, the military industrial complex is out of control. It's out of control. No, adults don't get schizophrenia. And also, as I was going to say, back in my day, because I'm a little older than you guys, there was a psychiatrist, R.D. Lang, Laing, and he had a different take on schizophrenia. He considered schizophrenia, or the traits of it, to be a defense mechanism in response to trauma. The DSM is changing all the time. Things that were uh, bona fide diagnoses, they've totally changed as not being problematic, having to do with a lot of the sexual impulsivity of these, the PEDOs. Let's see. And let me find that one on schizophrenia for you guys. Here it is. Exactly. The DSM changes because every time somebody speaks the truth, it becomes new diagnosis like persecutory delusions. Yes. Yes, yes. It's funny. Bye, Aaron. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Well, I've been drinking some mushroom coffee. That's about it. Good night, Erin. Well, there's a woman whose testimony I saw on a psychiatrist channel, Dr. Joseph, and he's kind of against pharmaceuticals, or he explains to people the negative side effects, which thank goodness there is somebody like him who's doing this. He worked for the FDA. But he had a young woman, who did the shrooms. She's done it before, but this one particular time, it had a really negative effect on her where she freaked out. And as a result of her freaking out, she ended up in a psych ward and being, medicated really against her will. And she spoke out about it on his channel. Yeah, if you see the truth, don't reveal it. Yes, yes, exactly. That's exactly what happened, con artist. She said the first one or two times, like it was, it expanded her thoughts and her visions and stuff. But this one particular time, it had a very negative side effect. She was panicking, having hallucinations. She actually, yeah, she did. She became psychotic. Her family was so alarmed. She couldn't get out of it either. That was the problem. She could not get out of it. And years ago, I took a course in shamanic healing. It was fascinating. It's like a little weekend retreat. I think that's what she was doing, though, the micro dosing. I think that's what she did, but it was this one particular time. I think she said it was just a little bit more, and it had really bad effect on her. It was so bad that, when she ended up in the psych ward and she couldn't get out of this, of course they misdiagnosed her, and they didn't let her just come out of it. It destroyed her marriage. She ended up getting divorced. She lost her job. You have to be very careful with mushrooms. They're actually all over my property, but most of them are poisonous. They're everywhere. Yes, that's a good point. You have to be in a high vibe place with like-minded people. Exactly. No, that is not a recreational. No, it's absolutely not. Billy, that's interesting. The ashwagandha. I don't. It's never had any kind of a negative effect on me. I stopped taking it though because the supplement that I was taking had too much sugar in it. I didn't like that. I'd even contacted the company that it was sugar overdose, so I stopped taking it. Yes, that's a really good point, con artist. There's a young YouTube creator I watch, Spirit Science, and he created a video on this very thing about the shrooms. It was like a little documentary about it. It was fascinating. Yeah, I don't know what mushies is. Well, I think I'm the only boomer in the room here. Oh, mushy shroom. Okay, I see. Ashwagandha makes you hungry? I don't know. It didn't make me hungry. Oh, boomers are mushrooms. Oh my goodness. Oh, Cheryl, you're a boomer too? A baby boomer. Okay, we should emphasize it. The baby boomer. We're in the 50s, 1950s, early 60s. Oh, you're born in 55? Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. River Bluff is an early millennial. Yes, I'm born in 1958. She's so funny. She's Gen X. She says, my hubby is Gen Z, super fun. I'm sure it is. Elsie says 55 model here. That's so funny. Yes. So I'm a baby boomer. Yeah, I'm I'm old at this point. I can't even believe I'm this old anymore. Joe, I'm interested in those things too. I'm not so interested in UFOs though. I've never really been. I just don't have an interest in that. But yes, the states of consciousness, shamanism, ESP, absolutely. Oh, and what are the things that they don't like us to talk about? Remote viewing. Oh, they don't like that either. They don't like that remote viewing topic. Years ago, when I was still in New Jersey, as an astrologer, I had a client. It was actually the mother that contacted me to analyze her young daughter's birth chart. She gave me permission. Her young daughter was extremely psychically gifted. She had power. She literally had power. And she told me the story about her daughter. The doctors wanted her to um, abort the baby because they noticed that the baby was not developing properly. But she, being a Christian woman, says, no, 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 I would never do that. So she carried the baby to full term, and the baby ended up being okay. But it turns out that her daughter had all of these very, I'm going to say, unusual abilities where she could, with her mind, she could bend spoons and forks and knives, just bend them. And that's why she contacted me. She said, I really want my daughter's chart. I've analyzed that the doctors wanted me to give her up because she wasn't developing properly. And it just turns out that her daughter is extremely different. You have visions not long ago. I saw my cousin. We haven't seen each other in many years. 2 weeks later, I was informed. Oh, that's so sad. Well, you probably had a strong connection to your cousin at some point. You know, when you're intuitive and when you're connected to another person, you can sense those things. I know my mother, when my mother was in New York and my brother had moved to California, she would just literally wake up in the middle of the night, like thinking about my brother, knowing that something wasn't right. And then she would call him and find out that, he ran out of food or something like that, couldn't buy food or, whatever. But she would have these like intuitive or psychic or premonitions, about the people close to her. Many of your perps or your loved ones have passed away. That's so it works great with your patients. I think of someone and they instantly call to make an appointment. I don't know. I don't think I have had any perps that have died yet. I'm still waiting. I don't know of anybody that passed away around here or something bad happened to them. Yeah, I don't know of anybody that's happened to. I do know that people who have been close to me have passed away. Like I've had two friends, one that was just a little bit older than me, but this is going back a few years. She just kind of died of some bizarre sickness, and then she just wasted away, and she passed away. And meanwhile, she had lost all this weight, stopped smoking, and then she got really sick. I felt like she was being targeted, but I didn't know what that was then. There are so many people that are targeted, just don't know it. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, well, that's so interesting, con artist. His boss, Perp, had a bad accident causing some spinal injury, and when he recovered, that he blamed con artist. And the accident happened 100 miles away from him. Well, yeah, that is karma, that's for sure. I mean, you don't do nasty things to people for no reason at all, especially if you don't know them. Oh, wow, Mac, that's so interesting. For anybody who doesn't see this, and of course on the replay, Mac just said, yeah, two guys talk crap at work about me, made up crap. One died hit by a car, and the other almost died in a different day. And then one dream says, yep, 3 neighbor perps that kept circling my mom either died or their dad died. They instantly moved away. It's fun at times to see that the universe protects us. Battle says, I'm a real believer in karma, and it's pretty brutal. Yep. Yeah. I agree, Battle. How dumb do the perps need to be to go against the creator of the universe? Well, you know why? Because many of them are psychopaths and narcissists, and they think that they are the center of the universe. They don't look at it the way you do. They don't see it that way. Oh, that's interesting. One dream says, a perp shot at me and my kid every time I went to the park, and he ended up drowning at 45 shortly after. They lack spiritual awareness. That's a good point. That's true. Because if they were spiritually aware, there's no way they would participate. It doesn't matter about the money. There's no way they would. But then you have to wonder, right? How many alleged ministers, pastors are involved? Really? Oh, well, good for you. Well, good for you. They must have run out of some money. The contract ended. I would imagine when a contract ends that it would stop. I mean, unless there are several contracts overlapping each other. Like, I haven't seen any of my neighbors, basically. I mean, they're still making noise driving down the street, honking a horn, but not as much as it usually is at this time of the year. Because around here, like I've noticed, like the stalking is approximately 9 months. It's like from March, April, through the end of November, December, and then January, February. There's nothing. I mean, not. I'm meaning the street theater kind of stuff. I mean, there's still bitchcraft all over the property. That's like every day. Every day there's stuff all over the property. There's still the human terrain team or the inhuman terrain team that's on the property every day. Yeah, I believe so, Joe. I believe that, they're told such lies and they believe what they're hearing. And they do feel righteous. They feel righteous because they believe that what they're hearing is the truth. And it doesn't matter if it is or it isn't, because whomever told them the slander, the lies, the defamation about us is somebody in a position of authority that they allegedly trust. And if they're getting paid and if they have their personality disorder, they're going to be self-righteous. Narcissists are self-righteous. They don't care. I mean, I see the nasty looks that my neighbors give me. Like, even before I ever met one of them. So how can somebody be that hateful when you've never met them before and don't know them? It's because of the slander and the lies, and they believe it. They believe this stuff about us. So then the karma falls on them because they're so ignorant, too stupid to perform their own research. Yeah, exactly, Cheryl. They think that they're honorary federal agents, like really important. Yeah, they're called rat snitches. They changed the term to confidential human source. It's basically they're snitches. They're rat snitches. They're paid informants. That's it. Confidential human sources. Yeah, they get these little fake plastic badges. They think that they're special. They're nobodies. They're whores. They're gift card whores. That's what they are. Gift card whores. Well, when you say that, Lisa, when you say that they seem to go in a possessed trance-like state, street theater skits, they are addicted. It's an obsession and a compulsion. It's an addiction. They are addicted to us. They get a high when they get those little ringy dingies on their phone. They have to get up with whatever they're doing. They have to get up and perform their little street show. So yeah, so their adrenaline's probably pumping. Oh, I'm going to get a gift card. Oh, I get to stalk that senior citizen down the block. Oh yeah, let's get off on that. I mean, it's sick. Well, I hear what you're saying, that you don't want them to suffer, you want them to evolve, but you don't, I guess you don't understand that when somebody is this kind of personality disordered, dysfunction, they don't evolve. They're not going to evolve because they don't believe that there's anything wrong. And it's sort of like even in the 12-step programs, you're not going to you're not going to progress through the steps. You have to first admit that you've got a problem. If you don't first admit that you've got a problem, then you're going to be stuck where you are. It's like that with addicts. Well, I think that people that participate in these things at some point will end up being targeted themselves because, the cabal, the powers that be, they're shelling out a lot of money and they want to get some of that money back. And it's not only going to be from targeted people, because they're not paying targeted people, but they're paying all the people to stalk us. I agree. I agree, River Bluff. And that's why they're selected to do what they do to us. And that's basically the way it works, in criminal organizations. Like they use people to do their bidding for them. And then because those people know too much, they get rid of them. They discard them, and that's what narcissists do. It'll be the big discard. Well, I think that maybe a couple of them, I'm not going to say that they're going to evolve. I think that some of them will just back out. Or it will be that their contracts end and then they'll stop. They're all under a contract. Contract doesn't last forever. The money doesn't last forever. They got new teams coming. And also, depending on where you live and how much evidence you already have against those people, they may not be able to use those same people again, especially if they're going to get sued. Because then what it is, it becomes an ongoing thing. Then you've got a pattern. It's not just something that happened once or twice. It's a pattern of stalking. It's a pattern of harassment. It's a pattern of intimidation. It's a pattern of trespassing. It's not just one or two incidences. Well, you know what? One Dream. You're better. I don't love everyone. I really don't. I I don't love everyone. I used to be the misguided belief that everyone was inherently good, and I was wrong. people are not inherently good. And I believe that even some babies that are born, some of them are not inherently good, unfortunately. I've changed my view. I agree. Some people are born evil. I'm sure, Lisa. She says, I had a gift card granny perp. LOL. I've seen pure panic when I slip out and outsmart them. Yes, it's also because they harbor so much hate and anger and need to outlet onto someone. I agree. I absolutely agree about the magic being performed in utero. Absolutely. And, I see what's happening here on my property, and not just here, but in New Jersey. They do perform witchcraft. You can call it whatever you want, whether it's witchcraft or ritual, um, an energetic, whatever. But they leave their stuff everywhere because they have an agenda. They don't want me to sell my property because they're banking on me. They're destroying the property in here, but I will be moving. I will be moving, and this property will sell. If I have to divide it into 10 little pieces and sell it off that way, then that's what I'll do. Because not everybody wants to buy 64 acres of land. Somebody might want to buy 10 or the 3 or whatever. Oh, that's so funny, yeah. Well, babies know what's going on. They hear in utero. They feel, they sense. They sense your emotions. Yes. Well, they're energy vampires. They want our loosh. They want our energy. They want our attention. That's interesting, Joe. Joe says, I saw a video with a study saying that some people are born missing the gene that allows them to feel empathy, hence psychopaths and sociopaths. Well, we are creating through the pharmaceutical industry, if I could say that, the food supply, the air, we are creating a society, but this has been going on for decades, of narcissists that lack empathy and compassion. So actually, we are creating a different species of inhumans. Because in order to be quote unquote human, you need to feel, care. There's kindness, feeling love, compassion, empathy. And through Big Pharma, we have unfortunately created a society of a lot of young people that are literally numb, deliberately numb inside. They don't care. They don't care about anyone. They don't care about anything. I've heard about that one dream. She says they inject baby shortly after birth with black goo or alien blood. Rumor has it. Well, I saw a video recently about how after the baby's born, they take the baby away from the mom. They've got to weigh it, suction the nose and suction the fluids, give them a little tap, make them cry and stuff. But this one video showed that what a doctor was doing was he had a snake, a venomous snake, and took some blood from the snake and stuck it inside the baby's mouth. That really totally creeped me out. Well, that's certainly possible. There are, unfortunately, babies born that may have some frontal brain damage. And also, if a baby is born of parents who were addicted to alcohol, there's the fetal alcohol syndrome that's very real. And that baby's IQ will be significantly lower. They may talk, walk, do everything at a slower pace. They actually physically look a little different in the facial features too. Yes, they prick exactly. That's a good point. Well, that targeted person who's no longer with us, his name is Zachos Breedlove Ewing. He wrote a lot on the topic of the black goo. Exactly, Conrad. It's something with the eyes. And I know because I dated a guy who confided then that he had fetal alcohol syndrome. I mean, he was a good-looking guy, but you can tell, like, his facial features were just a little different. And it was something with the eyes. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I believe that about the black goo. And they use it on targeted people, by the way. They use it in your home. Yes, the eyes are wider. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, very unusual that the eyes are that wide apart, but yes. I'm not sure what that is. San Hanku eyes. I've not heard that. Oh no. Oh no, Lisa, that's horrible. Oh my goodness. Fluoride tabs? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. Who would do that? Like, that's criminal. She says, my mom's pregnancy doctor, gave her fluoride tablets. Pills that dried up the mammary gland, so there was no breastfeeding. She was 1 month in an incubator. That's right, Jackie Kennedy had very wide set eyes. You're right, she did. Yes, yeah, that's a good point. Low intelligence people are easily manipulated and controlled. Oh, that's so interesting. That's unusual. Conrad says regarding birth here in New Zealand, they would take the baby's blood and put the blood on what's called a Guthrie card. The Guthrie card is used to register the child with the Vatican. They incorporate the babies. All perps have wide apart eyes. Well, I'm telling you that in New Jersey, there was a class action suit because New Jersey was keeping baby's blood indefinitely. Like when they prick the baby's blood when the baby's born. Well, they're supposed to test it and then throw it away. But New Jersey was keeping it indefinitely. And parents found out and filed like a class action suit. Like, why would anybody want to hold on to the baby's blood for years and years? That's horrible. River Bluff says, all my perps win the crack baby Olympics. Oh my goodness. Well, I want to look that up. I've never heard that expression before. Sanpanku. Sanpaku. I want to look that up. Of course, my screen is freezing right now. My bug zapper just zapped. In case you heard like a snap in the background. So I'm looking up the Sanpanku eyes, and it's saying that Princess Diana had those eyes. And Billie Eilish, is that her name? Eilish has those eyes. So what it's saying is, Sanpaku is a Japanese term which translates to three whites. The term of Borborus is visible. People with Sanpaku or scleral show is the term as the term is medically referred to, attract some form of attention with their eyes. The eyes may appear different. And of course, my screen frozen right here. I know. Is it buffering? I received like a little note that there was something with my connection. Is it okay now? Is it still buffering? I think what happened was I went to go to another. You're still buffering? Yeah, I received a. It's good now? Okay, good. Yeah, I went to go into a little notation on my lower left screen, searching for a better connection. So usually, it comes and goes. Yeah, because we're at the 2-hour mark. They did the exact same thing last week when I was about the 2-hour mark, and then I let it go because now it's midnight, a little after midnight, and usually around now, like I'll just let you guys chat amongst yourselves, and I think it happened during that time.